Let's do a change of pace, no trials or anything like that. Now we just gotta go back to one of the old annoying topics like the COOF and all the different mandates that are out there. But we'll start on a high note and then we'll eventually just kind of descend into madness and, I don't know, maybe potentially end on a laugh, maybe. DeSantis signs bill countering vaccine mandates. Yep, he's been threatening it for a while, and now he's finally followed through on it. Governor Ron DeSantis signed 4 bills into law on Thursday that will diminish the impact of federal COOF vaccine mandates in Florida. Under one of the new laws, Florida businesses can mandate COVID-19 vaccines will be required to offer exemptions for medical and religious reasons, as well as to pregnant women and people who have acquired natural immunity to the virus. Why not just ban them outright, okay? Employers will be further required to offer workers exemptions based on regular testing and wearing employer-provided protective equipment. No, how about no? Other provisions in the new law serve to protect workers ousted over vaccine mandates. The law prohibits, that must be a typo, school districts and officials from requiring students to wear masks. He's been trying to do that for a long time, but I guess it finally got passed through the legislature, so that's cool. Businesses that flout requirements, the requirement, face fines ranging from $10,000 to $50,000 per incident. Hosting the signing in Brandon, Ron DeSantis signing bills that go directly against a bunch of things that Joe Biden has been pushing in Brandon, Florida. Christina Pushaw, the governor's press secretary, said there was a message sent. No shit. I was on the header of a lot of those bills that were signed. Really does know how to just work a meme into some really good legislation. Speaking of which, the internet putting its collective will behind trying to flip, at least attempting to flip, Florida red. It was mostly successful. All of the big positions got filled with Republicans, but now we're starting to get a little bit of an insight as to what type of Republicans these people are. Don't know too much about the assistant governor or the attorney general, but we are kind of getting tipped off as to who Glenn Youngkin really is. Says he won't ban masks or vaccine mandates. He also says he won't put any in, but he also doesn't want to ban them, like Abbott or DeSantis or any of the strong Republican governors out there. Seems like, well, he was always going to be a better choice than Terry McAuliffe, but instead of being a proper choice, proper alternative, really just looks like maybe he was a lesser of two evils. Virginia's Republican governor-elect Glenn Youngkin says he would not mandate masks or COVID-19 vaccines, but also says he would not ban local authorities from imposing mandates. Why? Localities are going to have to make decisions the way the law works, and that is going to be up to the individual's decision. But again, the governor's office, you won't see mandates from me. I like the overall idea, but leaving it up to localities to tyrannize their own constituents, you should be a little bit wary of that, because it's not like it's a foreign concept out there. Republican governors in a number of states, including Texas and Florida, have banned mask and vaccine mandates to varying degrees. Many Democrat governors, meanwhile, have imposed mandates and then codified them, especially when it comes to fat fucking J.B. Pritzker in Illinois, where I don't know how many Republicans are left in that shitty fucking state. That includes Virginia Governor Ralph Northam, who Youngkin will succeed in January after defeating Terry McAuliffe. Youngkin said he supports the jab, adding that he has gotten one and so have his family members. I think it's the best way for people to protect themselves. And then also, if you feel like your heart is kind of like the Grinch's and just a couple of sizes too small, the vaccines are effective at protecting COVID-19 infections in the months following vaccination, but plummet in effectiveness as times go on. Yeah, sure, I'll take your word for it. Studies and real-world data show the waning effectiveness has driven the push to get people who have gotten the jab to get another booster and just to hop on that cycle where you will never be fully vaccinated. So we'll see what happens, but this should be a gigantic red flag when it comes to Youngkin. Hold him accountable. Now we have what's happening with the private sector. So a couple days ago, OSHA's private business mandate was stricken down, but that doesn't mean that a private business can't do really fucked up things. Bank of America initiates pilot programs separating vaccinated and unvaccinated employees. Yeah, each group gets their own water fountain. God, this is so fucked. A source who works with Bank of America has disclosed a pilot program beginning November 18th. Oh, today. Cool. That plans to separate vaccinated from unvaccinated employees at an administrative building in Jacksonville, Florida. Let's see if Ron takes any sort of position on this. The source, who asked to remain anonymous, why? What do you have to lose? It looks like they're already creating a two-tiered society. What are you afraid of? That the program was initiated as a way to bring employees back to the office after a period of working remotely during the pandemic. But the plan cast a dark shadow on the potential future society. It's segregation, they said. I'm blown away. I'm not. Just a little bit startled as to where it's happening, but I couldn't imagine it's just going to be specifically localized in Jacksonville, Florida, of all places. So employees trickled back to the abandoned office this year after varying rates amid a multitude of experimental corporate policies after the China virus led to worldwide work-at-home culture. Yeah, which is just, I don't know, probably going to be intermittently flicked on and off for as long as there's going to be authoritarians in government, so potentially ever. With the wider availability of vaccines, people began taking off their masks and workplace policies became less restricted. Nah, can't be having that. Then fears over Delta variant sent many back home and became the platform on which Joe Biden announced his vaccine mandate policy in September, which was kicked to the curb. Yay! Though the mandate was not voted on by U.S. Congress and had not become law, nor was it ever really deciding any sort of law, where they were just kind of making it up and we're going to go as we want and out of an abundance of caution and public health. Fuck off. Though with some businesses, or while some businesses have chosen to mandate vaccines, leading to mass firings and resignations, others have not, leading to policies that require weekly testing and division that has appeared to advocate of medical segregation. I don't know, it's also really funny that this is happening at a bank because, I don't know. All of these vaccine mandates, they just really sit wrong with me. Most for, like the obvious reason that the government shouldn't be telling you what is going and what comes out of your body. I think that that's abhorrent on the face of it. But it always just strikes me odd because we all know that there is like one business who's actually going to be benefiting from this. And then if they're going to be successful in trying to push for their booster program, there is one. Okay, there's one. When it comes to the initial jab, if you want to, really roll the dice, you can get the Johnson & Johnson. You can also get Moderna if you're feeling up to it, and then you can also get Pfizer, and they're going to be the ones who are looking to be doing the exclusive business when it comes to just continuously fucking boosting you up. And don't worry, you won't be missing out if you got the Johnson & Johnson or the Moderna jab, because all of a sudden it's like, yeah, no, fuck it. It doesn't even matter what you got before. We just want you to get the booster, and the science is on our side. Sure it is. But what about getting any sort of data? It's like the CDC always points, we have all of these studies and the science is on our side. And it's like, can we see any of it? No. And if they get their way, well, the FDA doesn't want to have to release any of their Pfizer vaccine data until, you read that right, 2076, 76, okay? I, for one, will be 86 fucking years old. And most of the people watching this, I see the numbers, will all be dead before they fucking get some actual data. 55 years, huh? We follow the science. Can we check the science? No. You just gotta listen and believe. It's a fucking religion, dude. It's a cult. Maybe it's a cult, okay? The FDA has asked the federal judge to make the public wait until the year 2070. I can't even fathom what the world will look like in 2076 to disclose all the data and the information that relied upon the license Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine. That is not a typo. They want 55 years to produce the information to the public. Why? As explained in the prior article, links, descriptions, follow it through if you want. The FDA repeatedly promised full transparency. Oh, just like Joe Biden. How cute. With regards to COVID-19 vaccines, including reaffirming the FDA's commitment to transparency while licensing Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine. With that promise in mind, in August and immediately following approval of the vaccine, more than 30 academics, professors, scientists in the country's most prestigious universities required the data and information submitted by the FDA by Pfizer to license its vaccine. The FDA's response, it produced nothing. Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, I would have shared it with you guys because I find this stuff horrifying and interesting, but equal halves at the same time. So in September, the law firm of Zero Hedge filed a lawsuit against the FDA on behalf of its group and demanded this information. To date, almost 3 months after the licensed Pfizer vaccine, the FDA has not released a single paper. Instead, 2 days ago, the FDA asked a federal judge to give it until 2076 to fully produce this information. The FDA asked the judge to let it produce 329,000 pages of documents Pfizer provided to the FDA to license this vaccine at a rate of 500 pages per month. Oh, okay, cool. So we're going to get a small trickle, and I'd imagine, at least for the foreseeable future, for the first couple of decades, it's mostly just going to be fluff pieces of paper, which means its production would not be completed earlier than 2076. The FDA's promise of transparency is, to put it mildly, a pile of illusions. No shit. Starting to realize how this is not even remotely about the virus anymore. I know everybody who's watching this is more than aware of that, but yeah, it should be cause for concerns. And if you have any more deference left for government, just once again, they promise to be fully open and transparent, and they're just going to spend the next few years giving you a summary, and they're going to give you the fucking index and perhaps some of the footnotes. But are they ever going to get to the heart of the matter? Well, hopefully you got some stasis chambers, and you're looking to live another hearty 55 fucking years to see the completion of this. This is atrocious. Sorry to end on such a down note, but hey, it just happens sometimes. Thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.